Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to our brief overview. What I'm going to do for the first 1 minute or two, you've seen my email about Kaptiwa. I'm just going to kind of show you briefly. I'll do a full-blown demo later on today. You can watch your email for it. There's not much to really figure out here. This is a place for you to upload your videos and then serve the videos. And so before I do that, I'll just show you what the limits are. For example, I think for the pro plan or their commercial plan, your storage limit is going to be 250 and your bandwidth is going to be 250. Depending on what you're doing, that can be good enough. 50 gigabytes might be a little these days, might not necessarily seem like a whole lot, but 250 gigabytes, again, you could probably do a small learning center with that, with that bandwidth and with that storage. Okay, so that being said, what we'll do is I'll just show you basically what you're doing here. You've got your limits here. You would then just start a campaign for a video here. And then you're going to select a specific project that you have. You're then going to click add, and then you're going to add in a video from your PC. They've got something here called My Drive, which you can upload your videos to there. But basically, you'd just be kind of getting a video from this area. I'm just going to get one of the PLR videos that I created before. And so then you have your video uploaded. And so once you do that, then you go here to next. If you want to put titles in here, descriptions, and all the other stuff, you can do that. If you're just basically going to be serving this into a learning center and you're going to be using it, you save and activate the video. And then here's your embed code. Right, so you can put that embed code inside of your WordPress site or inside of wherever it is that you are serving your videos. And as I said, I will do a full-blown demo later on about this. So that's pretty much all on Kaptiwa. There's a link there in the box if you're going to get it. Okay, so let's kind of do away with that and let's get back into the challenge here. And basically, what we're going to do today is day 2, and I want to finish the overview today. And we are talking about developing deep roots in order for you to be paid, right? Deep roots in order for you to be paid. And I've already done the first part of the overview, and that's also in the group. It's also on my YouTube channel. And so let's talk about this. One way to think about this is that you've got one idea that you're going to be sharing in a number of different ways. Remember, when we're talking about deep roots, what we don't want to do is we don't want to spread ourselves thin only over a bunch of products, right? The more we mature in information marketing, right, the way that you're going to be able to sustain yourself as well as to sustain your income is if you can transition your business, if you can transition your thinking into creating one awesome idea and develop that one awesome idea and then continue to move that awesome idea into different channels. And once you've exhausted those channels, then move to a new idea, as opposed to starting in one channel and then doing a number of different ideas over and over again. It is exhausting, right? And so over time, what you want to do is you want to develop one idea and then to expand that idea across multiple channels. So think about, let's say I took your best idea. Let's say we took your very best, your one single best idea, right? And let's envision that idea inside of a Kindle book, a physical book, or an audio book, right? That's one channel. Let's then rethink that idea. And that idea then becomes a digital or physical information product, right? Again, we're talking about your very best, your single best one idea. We're developing deeper roots. Then we're talking about that single one idea turned into a free or paid online community, right? And then same idea. We turn the same idea into a local meetup. Now, what are we not doing here? We're not going through the process of doing a Hollywood movie, right, over and over again, which is basically what we're doing when we launch over and over again in different titles. Now, again, I know that it's a transition we've got to make. in terms of mentality. I'm not saying that this is going to be easy to do, but I do want to get you thinking about that and to envision what it would be like if you could do that. Envision what it would be like if you had one idea that you were working on and you were perfecting idea, and that idea became a Kindle book. It then became your information product. It then became your paid online community. It then became a local meetup. It then became something that you coach people on, right? Because you are the expert on that thing. It then became a live online event. We're talking about one idea. And I think if you really follow some of the larger players, if you follow some of the longtime players, if you follow people who did this before there was internet marketing, right? Before, when information marketing was only cassette tapes, this is basically what they did. Now, obviously there was no Kindle book, but if you think about this, we're talking about one idea that became all these different channels. A live in-person event, right? Say one idea, right? One idea. You know, and then also a physical newsletter, software applications, taking your best idea and turning it into something where you are basically, I'd say, automating the process for somebody, and then turning that same idea into e-commerce and physical products. So again, we're not talking about the exhausting process of taking one idea and taking it across multiple little, one channel, right, over and over again. We're taking our same idea and meeting people, different people in different channels. And again, once we exhaust our venues, and what I've given you is not a comprehensive list, it's a good list, right? If you took one idea and you did everything here, you'd have a pretty good reach across everybody who would possibly come in contact with your idea, but it's not exhaustive. I mean, there are other things you could do. Once you do all these things and you exhaust the venues, that is then when you transfer into a different idea, right? So again, we're talking about deeper roots. We're not necessarily talking about, one idea, or we're not talking about multiple ideas. We're talking about one idea exhausted across multiple channels. Now, when you think about this, you'd have to consider this, that you'd be doing this with prospects and customers. Right? And then you can do this, when you have deep roots, you can also spread this across partners. So if you think about the fact that you're going to have newer partners, you're going to have new affiliates, right, in each channel. And what you're basically doing is you're finding all of the prospects that you can find for this one idea, all the customers you can find, all of the partners you can find, all the affiliates you can find, and even the sponsors you can find if you're doing a podcast or you're doing a video cast or you're doing a YouTube channel. Again, when you're taking one idea and you are continuing to focus on that one idea, you will then leave yourself open to sponsors being able to find you, right? I think sometimes if you start thinking about trying to find a sponsor, and so you've got this one thing. Most of us, right, particularly of us in the JVZoo Warrior Plus information market, we don't stand anything long enough for a sponsor to find us, right? But if you kind of stick into something long enough and you do enough damage across multiple channels, you leave yourself open for a sponsor to find you. And they're always going to be competition. You're always going to you're not going to deal with that, but we're not concerned then about competition when we're developing deep roots. What we're looking to do is serve an unmet need in the ecosystem. So we're not just kind of going out there with our own idea. We're looking for an area that's not being served. And so when we find that area and we take our idea into it, we're then going to spread it across multiple channels. And basically, when you think about this, the reason that we want partners, affiliates, and sponsors is we don't want competitors. We'd much rather have partners than competitors. It's a lot better for you to get a little bit of a lot than a lot of a little bit, right? And if you can do that continually, you'll then be developing those kind of deep roots that we're talking about. And the deeper our roots, the easier it is for us to be able to sell our video courses. Right now, if you think about the area in which you've developed the deepest roots, that's going to be the area in which you're going to be able to sell any course you want, right? Because again, you've got an audience, you have partners, you have affiliates, you have sponsors. When you begin to develop those kinds of roots inside of a market, inside of a sub niche, when you then release something, whatever it is you release, you're typically not going to release to crickets. You have people who are following your activity. right? And so that's really kind of where where I want to end up for the day. I want to keep this right around 5 minutes every day. That's really kind of all that I want to do today. Tomorrow, I want to pick this up from a different point. But again, just kind of thinking through what we talked about is, where do you have the deepest roots? Where can you develop the deepest roots for what it is that you are doing? Okay, and I'm just going to kind of fly through this. I think I duplicated this slide, so I'm just going to kind of fly through here. Just as a reminder, if this has been helpful to you in any way at all, right? If you found this helpful to you, please go to the plrshow.com/shout and just give us a shout out, and just let everybody know that what you're hearing has been helpful to you. Also, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. And you can do that at the plrshow.com. Just put your name and email address in there. We talk about PLR every single day. And then also, as I showed you here at the beginning, if you're talking about hosting for your learning center, you can get that hosting at LCHSTNG, right after the PLR show. Again, I'm going to be doing a full-blown demo at this point. You won't see one there, but I will do one later on here in the group. I'll put that also on our YouTube channel. Also, yesterday I mentioned to you there's some funnel building software that comes with resale rights. So instead of just selling the content, you can also sell the software, and that's plrshow.com/FSCRTCH. Okay, so if you have any questions, put them there in the chat area. I will monitor the questions. I'll get in there and I'll answer them. This is longer than I wanted to go. I did have the Kaptiwa semi or a super short demo there at the beginning. As I said, I will be doing a demo, full-blown demo, a little later on, and I'll show you what else it does. Any questions, feel free to write them here in the box. I appreciate you all being here. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.